Hey everyone, welcome back to the Business Growth Club podcast. In today's episode, I'll talk through a question that every client asks and we answer when they join our Start Up Accelerator Programme. How do I get my first customer? I'm your host today, Mick Foster from Purple Yak, the business coaching firm behind the Business Growth Club. Here we empower small businesses like yours to grow and thrive through insight, education and advice. We work with hundreds of entrepreneurs every single day, and we bring their questions and learnings to this podcast to help more business owners to grow and thrive. Answering how to get your first customer is likely the first and biggest hurdle for new entrepreneurs to overcome and get their first paying customers. In today's episode, I'll share how you can get that first customer when you have no audience, no leads, just your website and your product. The task can seem very daunting, but remember, every successful business has gone through this, so you can do it too. That first customer is incredibly rewarding. It's amazing to see someone buy what you've been putting out into the world. It's validation that your product has value in the marketplace and gives you hope for the future of your business. So it's crucial for us to get that first customer to have all the positive feelings and to capitalize on that momentum. So, how do you get your first customer? I'll discuss this through using the hardest case scenario, that you have no audience, no email list, and a brand new website. You haven't built up a substantial following yet. You have a product that you believe could help people, and you've validated it through the process of creating it. Now, let's get your first customer. I'll cover a few strategies with you today. These strategies will require some effort. It might be a bit more challenging than you're used to, but it's worth it, trust me. Things will get easier once you get the ball rolling. There are different ways to gain customers. If you have a budget to market and gain leads, then obviously this is an advantage. This will speed things up. But even if you don't have a budget, there are ways to do this, and I'll explain. Let's say you have a modest marketing budget. How do you get those first customers? Some people say, let's advertise. Let me run some Facebook ads, maybe some Google ads. I'm not really fixed on those types of marketing when you're starting out, because the ads on these platforms really perform well when you have some data, where you know what kind of people will visit your website, and you have some data and analytics behind it. You could even have an existing audience or email list that you can build lookalike audiences off. If you're going into this fresh with Facebook and Google ads, you're really going to be doing mass marketing, really. You're just putting it out there. Hey, I've got this thing, check it out. The chances are that you're not going to convert very many customers. And it's going to get expensive quickly because you don't really have a target market or audience defined. What you want to do is a high trust building activity at the start. You want to build trust with your customers as quickly as possible. If you're just starting out, for the vast majority of startup businesses, I actually think one of the best ways to spend your money is at events. These events could vary depending on the type of business that you have. For example, if it's product-based, you could go to trade shows, fairs, markets, etc. If you've got a service-based business, you could go to trade shows, conferences, workshops, or even local events. If you've got an information-based business, conferences, workshops, local events, and talks. Let me explain. Number one, if there's a way for you to attend a virtual event or in-person event, just do it. Buy a ticket. Get to that event because you're going to meet new people. You're going to be on a mission to meet new people. People that share your audience. Have businesses that have your audience. You're going to get to know your potential customers. This is money well spent because you're going to be building relationships. We'll talk more about that later, but it's super important. Now, let's consider a scenario where you have limited budget. You can still reach people's audiences through podcast interviews, guest posting on their blogs, and appearing on their podcasts. At the end of your guest post, you can subtly mention that you recently launched a new business and encourage them to check it out. Offer them a link, or perhaps you could invite them to attend a free webinar or workshop if it's a local thing. It needs to align with your content and encourage them to sign up. Leveraging other people's audiences is an inexpensive way to reach a wider audience, but it will require a significant amount of effort. Understand that you're putting in the legwork to get your business off the ground and acquire your first customers. My next piece of advice is this. If you're starting a business with no audience, focus on building your own. This will significantly accelerate your chances of attracting more customers over the longer period and make your efforts of growing your business much, much easier. However, be diligent about building your audience. Whether you're running a blog, podcast, or YouTube channel, the key is to make a concerted effort from the start, as it'll help you acquire customers now and in the future. My final piece of advice would be around collaboration. Let me first define what I mean by collaboration. In this sense, I mean collaboration around a symbiotic business relationship. Explore possible business collaborations where you complement each other's businesses without competing with each other's. Here's a few examples. These partnerships enhance mutual growth, leveraging each other's strengths for shared success. Coffee shops and retailers. Here in the UK, there are Costa coffee shops in Next retail stores. You can get a coffee to walk around when you're shopping, or grab a seat after a long shopping trip and relax before moving on. It works perfectly for both businesses without competing with each other. Restaurants and consumable brands. McDonald's serves Coca-Cola products exclusively, creating consistent brand pairing, while Coca-Cola gains a vast distribution network through McDonald's restaurant networks globally. These are just two examples of businesses collaborating. Look at your market and niche to find your opportunities. Look at other businesses that depend on your services. Even if there's a kickback, referral fee, or affiliation commission involved, it's worth it because you're getting free clients at no cost in terms of customer acquisition, unlike when you're running ads. Sometimes it's just a win-win, and no money needs to change hands at all. The agreement just needs to be simple, something like, I'll refer you to my customers, and you'll refer me. So you can definitely get creative and use these strategies to get your first customers and get the ball rolling. To wrap up today's episode, getting your first customer can be challenging, but it's exciting and requires creativity, hard work, and honesty. You need to be out there, connecting with people and talking to them. Remember, if you're working with someone and trying to get a referral, make sure it's a win-win. No one wants to be constantly asked for favours with nothing in return. Invest in relationships, even if it means spending money to build those relationships. Ideally, you should be getting your first customers before you launch your product or service, when you're validating the idea. Pre-sell it and get people to put their money down, even if it is only a deposit on your product. This is validation that you should go ahead and build this product or service or business. Pre-selling is a fantastic strategy because it demonstrates people's genuine willingness to invest in your product. Additionally, it can provide you with seeding money to build the business that you envisage. Don't hesitate to ask for sales even when your product isn't fully ready. That's why relationships and contacts are invaluable, because you can always reach out for support during this process. And that's it for today. Thank you for tuning into the Business Growth Club. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe and share with fellow entrepreneurs. If you've got any burning questions, reach out on our social channels or email michael@purpleyak.co.uk. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.